We'd like to be the first to welcome you to the 2019 Seahawks Banquet. We want to appreciate you all for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah, so you got it warmed up, T. I'm going to warm them up a little bit as well. C!
It is great to be back. Love it. Every single year, you guys put on incredible events. And to get things started this year, to keep this hype going, to keep this energy going, we want to start off with something very special. Tonight we have a very special guest, a Grammy Award-winning artist, Seattle friend of mine, is going to open the night singing the national anthem. Give it up to my friend, Michael Weinstein. Please remove your hats. Sing along if you can keep up. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm ready to go play.
Please give it up for Hollimon again. Give it up for Hollimon. Hey!
Don't change the subject.
All right, okay. That's good. So this what happened. I was playing basketball with some gentlemen that are a little bit younger than me, and in my mind, I'm still, a 20-something-year-old that is playing with the Seahawks, but my body let me know that I need to stretch properly, I need to warm up, I need to do all that kind of stuff, which I never really had to do, so that's what happened. I popped my Achilles.
And he's still here. He's still strong. He's still fighting.
So it looks pretty bad right now, but I've been in this thing for a couple months now, so it comes off next week. So I'm excited about that. If you look in my closet, all my left shoes look pretty scuffed up right now, so I'm ready to get back to 2 shoes. So I'll be out of this next week, so that's what happened. Popped my Achilles, but I'm still positive, still excited, and I still come out and hang out with you guys.
I just want to let you do some sympathy points real quick. Because I know you didn't know anything that was going on, any of the references to Star Wars on that last video.
I knew something. Yeah, I know the sword, the life saver, or is it light? Saver, not saver.
That's all we need to know right there, right? So, and I do a show called The Barber Shop. It's been going on for, this will be our 5th year doing it.
Really?
Yeah. It's everywhere. We started off lots of other radio stations, but we are now doing a podcast that you can find on iHeartRadio. So that's what we've been doing. We also have some other things going on. Mark, you've been doing some things since we last saw them all.
Yes, I've been doing a little bit of everything. I always start with, I have 5 beautiful children and a wife, so that keeps me busy all the time. 4 daughters and a little boy. My oldest is 13, so pray for me, please.
You've been doing some TV things as well.
I've been doing some TV things. I've been on Cairo Radio. I've been doing that with David Solano and doing that for Thursday Night Football. So I've been making my rounds in the radio thing. I do some stuff at the TV station as well. But yes, our podcast is, you can find us on social media too, because that's the big thing, team. You always forget to tell people. But you can find us at Barbershop Show _, on Twitter, and Barbershop Show on Instagram. And you can see all the fun and crazy stuff we talk about. So it keeps us busy.
Yeah. And I've been doing some TV stuff as well. This past offseason, I did a show on Q13, Talking Huskies, where we talk Husky football. Yeah, we talk Husky football. Yeah. That's also DVR.
I support you, though, T. I do support you.
Yeah, do you really?
Sometimes. But you know what it's like, man. You can't come up here talking that purple stuff with the cool up here like that. Don't work like that. That purple stuff.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Marcus? It's dogs over here.
Woo, woo, woo.
You did that for y'all, because Marcus Allen, he did not know what he had. He thought he had a lightsaber.
And that would look better in slow motion, too.
Yeah. All that being said, we'd like to bring up another special guest tonight. Please make some noise for our friend Quirky.
Hey, I gotta take some pictures right now. Hold on. You're crazy. Let me get a little way to beat the Raiders. Here we go. What a hoot. So, it is a pleasure to be here again with the Seahawkers. This is my 41st Seahawker season. Watching that video gave me lots of memories and lots of feelings and lots of emotion, and everything is about Paul Allen. Yes. Everything is about Paul. So the Seahawkers asked if we could get a Paul Allen photo, and we got one. But that photo is so special. When we got back from England, Mike Flood asked me, hey, we need a picture of Paul in the trophy case. So I printed one up that day. It's that picture right there that's being auctioned off right now. Well, as in Iwo Jima, Mike Flood said, well, Corky, tomorrow get me a bigger one. So we took the 8x10 out, and we put the 11x14 in. That's the 8x10 that was in the trophy case the day we got back from London, England. And it's the only one that's up for auction ever. So if you haven't bid on that yet, I guarantee you the bid is not enough. Because there is no other picture that's going to get auctioned off like that one. Ever.
Funds are going where?
Excuse me?
The funds are going where?
That's not my, the fund, who's the fund lady here? Paul Allen, the funds are going to the Paul Allen Foundation. So I encourage you to keep marching over there during our event and bid on that item. Let me tell you what Kenny did. Kenny gave you one of his pictures that we signed the night, the day that everyone got their rings 2 years ago. And that picture, there's only 12 of those, and that's number 6. Kenny got 3, Steve Larson got 3, and Walter Jones got 3. And then we gave one to the Seahawks. I have 1, and we have 1 other for auction. Kenny gave you one of his 3 images. And they're signed by our 3 Hall of Famers. You will not get that picture again. That's not going to Poncho, that's not going to the Museum of Flight, that's not going to any other auction. It's right here. And then the last item that Kenny gave you, my wife and I made Kenny his own book of his career with his Hall of Fame in it. And Kenny got 20 books. There were only 20 books printed. Kenny gave you one of his books. And it's autographed to the Seahawks. So you have 3 items over there that I want you to keep bidding on. Because you will not get another item. The Los Angeles, New England, they don't do this. We are the Seahawkers.
Yes.
Go Hawks!
Oh, that's how you do it, Corey.
Go ahead, just do it.
Congratulations, Michael.
Yes, congratulations, Michael. I got my little presents for you. First of all, congratulations on winning this prestigious award. Last year it was Shaquille Griffin. You are in good company. What does it mean to you to see this kind of support from the Seahawks fans?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that sort of response, and that just, I mean, that makes me so proud to be a part of this team and to have a fan base like this, and heard of all the hours you guys put in and all the community service you guys do, and everything you do for the team doesn't go unnoticed, and we all, really appreciate all the work you guys do, so thank you.
Thank you.
So your rookie season was absolutely amazing, and I know there were a lot of people out there last year around this time were thinking, Seahawks drafted a punter? A guy that came out here, first of all, I never heard of a punter coming out of college early. Have you heard of that? And he absolutely proved it every single week. He was the most consistent player that I saw out there. Tell us what your first season like in the National Football League has been like.
I mean, when I first came in, when I first got drafted, I knew there was a lot of pressure. To use a draft pick on a punter, you only go in for about 5 or 6 plays a game, so I knew that, I wanted to really make that pick worth and do everything I could for the team and help us win in any way I possibly could. And, as soon as I got on the team, I had every fan support. When I went out there, I felt like I was playing at home. My first game at Seahawks was crazy. I loved it. And, there's a lot of pressure on a kicker, and knowing that I have every fan support, even if I mess up, I don't, get any hate from our fans, and it's just great. So.
I want to go into to the locker room a little bit. I know there could be some fun stuff that goes on with rookies, the veterans at times. They can be a little hard on the rookies. So give the Seahawkers, give the fans a little bit of the inside of some of the stuff that took place, or I guess some of the hazing, that took place as a rookie.
Yeah, so I was looked after a lot by Seabass, and I didn't get anything near as bad as what some of the other rookies got, but each week, but each week, you know, we try and just buy them food whenever we travel, and that was always a stressful thing. If there wasn't Uber Eats working, or if it didn't work there, somehow we still had to do it. And there was another one where, I mean, I got paid to do it, but Seabass paid me to jump in the lake in full hoodie, full sweats, shoes, everything. He threw a ball out and I had to swim out and get it. But yeah, a lot of the other rookies went through much worse than what I did, that's for sure.
That's not bad. Not bad. I didn't get it much either as a rookie. I think during training camp, I think my first year they shaved my head. So it could have been a lot worse. But I guess another question. You know, you talk about the stress of being, on the special teams, being a kicker, not coming in, and playing that many plays a game. So, that you got to make every play count. What's the kind of the day in the life of the practice of a kicker? Or excuse me,
yeah, interchangeable, doesn't change. But, yeah, I mean, every day we go out and, we might not have punt with the team every day, so I'm always trying to work on something on my own and really kind of set my own schedule, because there's an hour and a half practice and it's not written down for me for what I need to do. It's just really self-governed and I get out there and do my warm-up and have to remain focused and really try and put myself in game-like situations without any game-like situation being around me. I kind of need to close my eyes and imagine it as the best I can and make the most out of that hour and a half.
Well, I just want to give you props because, the kind of the old school way of thinking of a kicker or a punter, there are these guys that don't even look like football players, but they're standing up next to you, and you look like you can do your thing, so when we get back to that,
No, I mean, to go on what Mark was just saying, I want to take you back to one particular play last season. Again, most people thought kickers, what you think about kickers sometimes. But I want to take you back to one particular play I'm sure you're never going to forget. I'm sure the Seahawks fans are never going to forget. I'm sure your coaches are never going to let you forget. The Detroit game. You guys remember this game?
Yeah!
The Seahawks were holding on to a 2-touchdown lead late in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left on their own 3-yard line, and they stick him in to punt. And they tell you to just run around in the end zone and take a safety so the Seahawks can hold their lead. What did you do, and why did you do it?
Yeah, there definitely wasn't a lot of thinking going on. I kind of ran around and saw there was a gap opening, and I kind of had a mini flashback in that split second to Pete telling me, why don't you ever just take it and run? Sometimes there's a gap, you should just run sometimes. It is my chance, so I kind of just tucked it and ran, and as soon as I took off, I kind of saw that I was going to get the first down, but knew it was going to be close, so, I mean, you can see the slow-mo right when I get to the first down, I just kind of squeeze, close my eyes, and, ended up getting the first down, so, I mean, it's so bad.
That was an incredible play to cap up an incredible season. And now you get this incredible award, Rookie of the Year. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Mark.
Hearing about the Seahawks, and just being able to play for the hometown team. There was always, a standard and a goal that, name always came up in the defensive backroom. It was Kenny Easley. Just the way he played, how he affected the game, how he changed the game, and the energy that he brought, day in, day out, and it showed on the field. And as a young player, of course, you think that you're doing something, and you think that that you're Superman, and you can do everything, and you can really make it happen. But when you do your research and you start looking at some of the stats, it's like, okay, well, I might need to tighten my game up if I want to be, exactly where this man has been and the level of play that he, just the level of play that he brought to the field. It was just amazing. So, and that's just personal, and I know we got some of the
Yes. I just want to let you know, before this program started tonight, we were backstage with a bunch of people that are involved here tonight, and I say this, and please don't take it lightly. I was sitting in the presence of this man, and there's only a certain number of people in the world of sports that give you this feeling, and I'm not taking, please don't take this lightly. A Michael Jordan, a Wayne Gretzky, the kind when you get in the room with this person, you almost are speechless. You stand and look at him in awe. And that's the way I felt just a few minutes ago sitting with Kenny Easley. You think about what he brought, yes, think about Think about what he brought to this team, what he brought to this franchise, what he brought to this city. It was just amazing, the level of professionalism that he brought, that a young man like myself was able to look at growing up way down in Texas and watching and seeing what's going on in Seattle. That's that guy up there, knocking people out like that. He's a guy that was a 5-time Pro Bowl, 4-time first-team All-Pro, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 1984.
Yeah.
A member of the NFL 1980s All-Decade Team.
Yeah.
In the Seattle Ring of Honor. And not another Seahawk will wear the number 45. Please give it up for Hall of Famer Kenny Easley.
Yeah. All right.
Now, we were supposed to ask Kenny some questions, but I'll be, again, quite frank with you. I'm nervous. I'm nervous up here with this guy, and I know he's a man of a few words, and when he speaks, it means something. So you guys better perk your ears up and listen to what Mr. Kenny Easley has to say. First, let me ask you, thank you for being here with us. It is an honor. And before we get, you speaking to the people, what does it mean for you to be here in the presence of these incredible fans, these people who love you, the people who've been waiting to hear from you, see you all these years?
Well, I had written a speech. When I was listening to you guys earlier, I decided that I'm just going to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got a story, really, to tell you about what it meant to me about you guys. Now, I don't know how many of you in here ever saw me play.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought there would be a few.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there would be a few of you in here that had seen me play in the old kingdom.
Yeah.
And so I delighted to be in your presence.
We're delighted to have you.
I am delighted to be in your presence.
We're delighted to have you.
Because it was this type of organization, the supporters of the Seahawks, is the reason why I played in Seattle. I'm going to tell you the story. Okay. Follow me now.
All right.
It's 1981 and the night before the NFL draft. And earlier in the day, Bill Walsh, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, and his entire defensive staff came down to UCLA to work me out. Follow me now. This is kind of a long story. And so I worked out for 1 hour and 45 minutes out on Spalding Field, which is UCLA practice field. And afterwards, Bill Walsh told me to go in and take a shower and meet them in Pauley Pavilion, which was right across the walkway from our locker room, the UCLA locker room. So I went in and took a quick shower, threw a little bit of brute on my neck and shoulders. My wife wouldn't appreciate me wearing it today. And so I go over to Pauley Pavilion, and Bill Walsh and his defensive staff is sitting about on the 100 row, in the 100 level, in the 100 section. And so I walk up towards them, and Bill Walsh says, "There he goes. I can smell you coming." I guess I had put the brute on a little too heavy. He says, "Look here." He said, "We were very impressed with your workout." He said, "In fact, you're faster than we thought you were." They thought I was a 4.7 guy in the 40-yard dash. I ran 4.53. He says, "We have the 8th overall pick tomorrow morning in the NFL draft. If we select you with that pick, will you be okay with that?" I said, "I would. Absolutely, I would." I knew San Francisco was going to have a defensive draft because they had the offense. They already had Joe Montana and Roger Craig and, good offensive players. They just needed a defense. And so the 49ers draft, their first 8 picks in the draft were all defensive players, headed by Ronnie Lott, the number 1 pick. But Ronnie only got to get that number 1 pick because Pete Rozelle stepped up to the microphone that following morning at about 8:30 and said, "With the 4th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select from UCLA defensive back Kenny Easley."
Yeah!
Now, let me tell you this. I was fairly certain that I was going to get picked early. At least in the top 10 picks of the draft. 8 of the top 10 teams that year in the draft had worked me out. There were only 2 teams in the top 10 picks that didn't work me out. And that were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. So when Pete Rozelle said with the 4th overall pick, Ken Easley, I said, oh no! Not Seattle! And my lawyer, Lee Steinberg, was sitting next to me. But let me tell you how this call went. The phone rang at about 8:30 in the morning. See, back in those days, the draft came on at 5 a.m. So it was 8 a.m. on the East Coast and 5 a.m. on the West Coast. And so when Pete Rozelle made that announcement, I told Lee Steinberg, I said, I want you right now to get on the phone and try to get me traded to another team. This is true stuff, I'm telling you. Now, I knew we had to come up to Seattle later in the day for the press conference. And I didn't want to go, but after talking to Lee and other people advising me, I said, okay, I'm going to go up. So we're flying up on Alaska Airlines to Seattle from Los Angeles. Right before we were we had landed and we were taxiing to the gate. And the captain of the airplane came over the intercom on the airplane and said, ladies and gentlemen, we must have some type of celebrity on this flight. He said, because inside of the airport, at the gate that we're taxiing to, it is full of people. Well, you know, I certainly wasn't thinking that this was for me. So he pulls into the gate, he parked the airplane. We all started to load off the airplane. And as soon as I got to the entrance of the door, all of these fans started yelling.
Yeah!
Fans just like you started yelling. And and so I turned to my lawyer, my agent, and said, this is for me. And so as we're driving in our car to Kirkland, see, back in those days we were in Kirkland. And these people that were at the airport, they were following us to Kirkland. They were blowing their horns and yelling and honking, and I said, this is great, man. These people love me. So anyway, we do the press conference. Later that night, there was a fellow who worked for Cairo or King Fahd, I'm not sure, I think he worked for Cairo, named Wayne Cody. So you got to be old enough to know Wayne. And he had a draft show at a Mexican restaurant in Bellevue. I go by there now, that Mexican restaurant is no longer there. But after we had done the press conference in Kirkland, my lawyer and I went to the restaurant to do Wayne Cody's show. And when I got to the restaurant, the place was almost shut down because there were too many people there. All of these Seahawks fans were there to invite me to Seattle.
Yeah.
So after we talked to Wayne, and all of these people came up and wishing me well, and just being so kind to me, I told my lawyers, Lee Steinberg, I said, forget about it. He said, what? I said, the trade. I said, if these people who have shown me this type of love want me in a Seattle uniform, let's go.
Yeah.
So I say that to say this. It was because of the type of people like you that support the Seattle Seahawks. In my Hall of Fame speech, I said the greatest football fans in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
In the history of the NFL. They called themselves the 12. That's you. And you are the reason. You are the reason that Ken Easley decided to play in Seattle. And it has been a great opportunity for me. I loved every minute playing in a Seattle uniform. You see,
We love you.
you see, I had a brick mason father. My dad was a brick mason. And he used, in the summer months, he used to take me to work with him. And brick mason is a hard gig. And the thing about it is that he made sure I knew how hard it was. Not only did he wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the job with him, but I was the laborer. And I used to have to mix the mortar, stack the bricks, pick up the broken bricks that he would throw when he cut bricks in half. He made sure that I understood that this was hard work. And if I wanted more for myself, then this lesson of going to work with him was going to be my guiding light. If I didn't want to do the same thing, and I didn't. I love my dad to death, and I appreciate everything he did for my family. And we weren't rich. We didn't think we were poor. But we got the things that we needed somehow, some way.
Excuse if you're not watching Star Wars. I'm just saying. We've got a lot of time in our hands. I want to give you guys recognition, please. All my volunteers. Come on, you guys. That means you, Central Council. That means all my volunteers. Pat, say hello to Pat. She did all the decorations on the table.
Roses aren't as pretty, the sun isn't quite as high, birds don't sing as sweet of a lullaby, the stars seem a little bit faded, clouds just a little more gray, and it feels like things won't ever be the same. Haven't got another angel. Took you
this is the first game that we have played, the Seahawks have played since the last of our own Paul Allen. He's done so much for all of us. Think about it, all of us. He's put us in this position where we are.
We got a huge win, obviously after a tough loss of Paul Allen. He meant so much to us. Yeah, I'm gonna do it by compete. Yeah, I'm gonna give you everything I got.
That night in February, I got a call from an assistant coach, and he said, I think you better get over here. We're moving. Somebody needed to step in, buy this team, keep it here, and somebody needed to convince this state that they had to build a new stadium for this team.
I think people thought that this was a better community with the Seahawks here than with the Seahawks gone.
A lot of owners get into this for a lot of reasons. Very few can get into it for the reasons Paul did. What he saw was a chance to bring the community closer together. And if you go down to CenturyLink Field every Sunday, you'll see that.
The community connection was reestablished, the talent was improved, the leadership was put in place.
The starting of the championship attitude here in Seattle with Mike Holmgren. I just want to thank Paul Allen for being patient. Then hand it off to Pete and John Schneider.
I know that the vision for the program starts at the top. I know that Paul Allen wants to win.
The one key ingredient that's been there the whole time, from the start of this newest winning period for the Seahawks, has been Paul Allen. He is the guy who's been there from the beginning. He made this happen.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that championship. That was the Seahawks championship.
Your Seahawks Super Bowl 48 champion. Hey!
Every Seahawk fan and Pacific Northwest resident woke up the next day. They were pinching themselves. Did that really happen?
You know, Paul's a big reason why that's all here. The biggest reason why it's all here. So every Sunday is sort of a thank you to him.
Paul served as a great inspiration to me personally, as well as he has to so many people around. He really wanted to do great things. He was willing to go for it. I just loved every aspect of that.
Paul was one of these Renaissance men. He had so many wide interests, and I think he made an impact in all of them.
Seattle's the city that invented the future. Well, Paul Allen is one of the people that makes that true.
He loves the people of the Northwest in such a way that he created all of this to celebrate their opportunities to enjoy living here.